Good, oh, there we go. Good morning, and this is Jolene with AJeweldDesign, here with a reveal with me, as I show off all the things I've been working on. Let me turn my heater off really quick and pray to God I don't freeze. It's so cold. California is finally feeling winter. We haven't had a lot of rain. We've had some cold, frosty days, but now we have a combination of both the rain coming and going and the cold weather, and it's just, oh God, we were down to 30 today. Which I know, it's Cali, we're such wimps, but when you don't deal with super cold weather, it is a shocker to us. So, but here we go. It's early morning for me, but you will see this Thursday morning, so happy Thursday. And I'm here to show off my spring. You know, we've done Valentine's, we've done collage, we've done, I don't know, just other things, right? We've done sort of that, the end of the winter, warm, fuzzy, and we are now popping into spring, because before we know it, Valentine's will be gone, and we'll be into March, and then it'll be spring, and St. Patrick's Day, and Easter, and it all comes piling in. And I am enjoying, of course, this kit that I'm about to reveal to you guys, because I'm an end of March baby, and every so many years, my birthday lands either on Palm Sunday, or on Easter. I've been known to be a day before, day after, day of, and so I really enjoy the springtime and the colors, and I wasn't going to make this a very Eastery kit, but I wanted a very spring. I wanted bunnies. And there are watercolored eggs in here, but they could be pebbles, they could be painted rock, they could be whatever. I mean, you don't have to look at them as eggs. But there's not baskets, there's not Happy Easter. It's very still open to a spring kit. And of course, with all the bunnies and just greenery and floral. And so I'm showing you a number of things today. I'm showing you what's in the full Spring Bunny Journal Kit. I have Spring Bunny Mini Embellishments. I have bright pastel spring background papers. So we have three different things that will be sold separately. And I will go ahead and get that started. So thank you for joining me again another week. We're getting better, right? Every Thursday, every Friday. And hopefully you'll continue to catch my weeklies. And I'll continue to have wonderful things for you guys to look at. And we'll get on a rhythm here this year, right? We're going to get this done. So let's start with the starting point. Actually, we're going to start with what set this whole thing off. And I'm going to show you the background pages. This is what got me going and got me started in the kit. Like, I wanted something different. I've done always a lot of cream, a lot of beige, a lot of brown, you know, old letters, just all collaged, and let everything on top of it sort of be a pop of color. And I've done a lot of that lately, a lot of it. And so I wanted to break it up a little bit. So I felt I wanted to still do sort of a grungy, taupey border to it, which I don't do a lot of. But I wanted a color behind that, and either black or brown or white images over it. So sort of reversed it, did whatever. I got splotches in there. I've got a crackled paper back here. I've got this grungy going. I've got a, like an order form here. I've got numbers over here. Like, each one has something different in it. And it was a lot of fun just creating these. And these are 5 pages. And these are the Bright Spring Pastel background papers that are up for sale. Well, they're all up for sale by this morning, but they came out earlier this week. And so there's 5 of these. So each one's a different color with a little something different in it. And that lets you back it with whatever coffee paper or tea dye paper or other grungy paper to put it on, to make some fun papers, backgrounds, collages, you know, cut them in half, add them to journals. I know there's quite a few challenges going on right now, and these work beautiful for them. Okay. So then there's a blue one, which, oh, it's upside down. All of a sudden, all my pages are upside down. Well, how rude is that? Okay, so here's, that was a sage green. Then this is a sort of baby blue, pale blue, snow blue, I don't know. But again, I have a dictionary page back here that sort of says bloom. I have a French book page here. Again, splotches, the crunchy crackled paper. There's your pale blue. And then we go into lavender or purple, depending, you know. I mean, I consider it lavender because it's still pretty pale. Again, the paper, again, something's reversed. So you see the white of it instead of a black. Little fleur-de-lis heartsy thing, you know, it wasn't sort of hard, it wasn't, I don't know what it had a really pretty shape to it. Then I went teal, so this is sort of a bright bluish teal, blue-green, seafoam green, However, right, it definitely picked up background colors from this. I have tulip stems in the background. I have a swirly thing going on over here. I sort of really decorated this one up for something different because I was trying to figure out what to do and wanted to keep it different. And let's make sure I am recording. Okay, yeah, sorry. I get a little paranoid all of a sudden, like, did I hit the button? And then I did sort of a shabby, grungy pink. It's definitely antiqued. It has that floor. So here's that same white shape we had, reversed the other direction and repeated, washed out, erased, added in, burnt, you know, all kinds of different things to it to give it another texture behind it. And that was sort of fun. It's not pink, it's not peach, it's not brown, it's like a little bit of everything. And it really does bounce off well, a lot of the elements that I built off of. So, as I said, these 5 are bright spring pastel background papers. Okay, so this is sold separately, so you can use them for anything and everything you want. And but they were the jumping off starting point for the actual kit. So with that began, well, sort of began 2 different things. It began then the possibility and the collaging of the actual spring bunny journal kit. And these are all where my decorative pages are. There are 9 decorative pages in this journal kit, and there are 8 add-on pages, and there are 6 crackled watercolor splattered background papers. It's a 23-page kit. It's a good size. But when I was creating this, I was also keeping in mind that I wanted to create ephemera, little bits of ephemera, not just my standard add-ons, but I wanted things like cards and elements that I could use behind things. And so it's sort of, after in the background, it started both the kit and a secondary set. And so I went ahead and created, used some of our favorite pieces and created these little squares, right? These little decorative embellishments, and then led to little clusters of things. So that when I made the pages, the elements were not made on the page, but could be made individually and then added to the page. Because I have a tendency of creating it all here, and then I can't pull it apart and make really cute pieces. I was like, that didn't work. So I sort of went backwards with it. So the backgrounds led to a kit and a mini embellishment kit, and yeah, so on and so forth. So this one, and I'll show you those little guys in a moment. Those are separate. But here's your spring bunny journal kit. So here is our blue paper, blue background, right? It has 2 bunnies, and hopefully you guys are still seeing this. I'm gonna make sure I'm in sight. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure I don't get too far forward. Okay, so here is 2 cute bunnies with a seed packet and tulips and flowers and grass, and I guess that again, that checklist, this time in the beige and browns with tulips on it. Just utilizing across the bottom. Normally I go up one side or the other. You know, so I thought, I'll just go across the bottom. It folds beautifully, gives you plenty of room to decorate the top. You know, add a flip down, a paper clip, whatever, right? Add something up there and not feel like you're deleting anything. Then we have our lavender, and this is where I was getting into the clusters. So since we had this sort of major open space on the purple, I did a cluster. You know, I created this little card, and then I clustered on top of it, and even then created another bordered area. You could write on it, you could tag it, you can make this, you know, a cover, you can make this a subtitle page inside of the journal, because you could write on it, make it the back page to and from. It gave you an obvious journal space, and of course plenty of space here to journal on. Even though it's purple and there's writing, you could, you know, put a vellum piece over it, you could layer it right on top of this and not feel bad about it and put something on that side. And try to make sure too, when I was creating these, that I pulled elements from this over to the other side to help balance it out. Then we go to our teal. So I definitely kept the floral thing going. I kept the sort of the brighter colors on this one, because this was the teal is very bright. It just is. And so we have a cute little white bunny, and we have is it 1893 stamp, and it was purple, so I was stoked to bring something purple in, right? Flowers, postcards, you know, again, bringing pieces over. And then we have the sage green, which I had a lot of fun with. Again, another cluster. There's the card that I blew up, and then started clustering things, took one of my bloom words, fabric, like just started playing and making it look like a tag. We got a vintage lady here. You've got, you know, more floral, blooming. Now I think about that, I didn't realize I did that. So just, of course, obvious spring stuff. Then in the middle of the decorative pages is, you know, 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and then you have this pink spread, which is a beautiful in the middle of your signature type page, because it does decorate all the way up and around. And right when you fold it, I believe it's like right here on the seam, right around the seam of the book. So you have a little bit of the book on both sides of your signature. If you wanted to fold it and have it be on separate front and back, or when it folds in the middle, it doesn't really like crease the flowers. It doesn't crease the girl. It's all good. So I loved where I could pull from all the things I created, all these elements I used, and sort of collage them up, kept the eggs, kept the bunny, and just sort of kept it going and pulled it all together. So then we go to the other side and we have a blue again. And this time I pulled blue and the yellow. Not quite orange, but close, right? And in this case, I used more of the grays and, the faded blacks as detail work. Again, giving you room to collage here, put something in here, collage up above. Just sort of kept working with it. So then the other lavender one, sort of sepia'd out this one. So we pulled up more color. You have the white flowers, the white bunny, and this book. I just love this book piece. I love it's like an Emma book graphic. I think it came from Graphic Fairy, and I'm just like, I've played with it to death in this grouping. But I really enjoyed, doing it. So then the other teal one, which was one of the first pages I had created actually, was sort of a sepia bunny sketch that looked like he was jumping out from behind the flowers, and it was really tulipped up. Since the stems are in the background, I figured we'd just make the stems in the forefront. Also, so that was just a really great page to start the whole thing off with, and then one of my ultimate favorites is this little guy. He's in a patch of green and lavender, greenery and little white and lavender flowers, and he blends right in with the green background, which is awesome. And did keep it sort of, Eastery up here with an Easter postcard that I had created. And that was one of the pink postcards, I think, from Graphic Fairy. And then I went ahead and just add some stuff to it and laid it out there. So I thought this one came out really cute too. So now what I would suggest, though, is that you would put these crackled papers on the back of these so that you have variants, right? I didn't do it yet, my bad. But to be able to fold this, get variants, get changes, instead of your standard looking antique page on each side, I did this same bordered, taupey border, crackled paper in the background, and then just splattered color instead of the white, right? We had all the colored pages, and then we had the white spackles in the corners. So I went ahead and did 6 of these pages. I only have 4 on me, though. And then pulled the colors from the background pages and did this watercolor splatter effect, just to make it really easy for backgrounds, for any parts of these kits, right? So there's one in the shabby pink. There's one in the sage green, which is a little darker when you do this effect, but I liked that concept. One in the teal, which is definitely continuing all the darkness. One in the purple. Now the lavender, when you put it on here, it really darkened up in places, and I was okay with that. I thought it gave it a little jeweled, gave it some more pop. You could take a lot of the ephemera and lay it over, and you wouldn't lose it in the background. And then there's a brighter cyan blue, baby blue, and a gold yellowy tone one. So you have 6 of these to help back all of your needs. On the decorative pages, you have the crackled PDF of 6 background papers. Okay. And then the really fun part is all this color. I didn't feel like it was super Eastery when I was just working on the pages, but when I put up all the pages of ephemera add-ons sort of up on a screen when I was doing my come together, it was just color, and it was just like, how can you not call that spring? So we have 8 pages of ephemera. These are your tags, your journal cards, your little tags, your coins, anything I do in a little bit of new and old, right? So we have our standard washi tags. I did them 4 up side by side, so you could fold them as a trifold this way, but 4 sides, right? And the 6 little guys, which seems to be my new favorite thing, right? And they're super cute. I love these little scalloped tags. I think they're just adorable to use, right? Okay, so that's page 1. And then we have flags, which of course I did. It's surprisingly the end of all the blue ones, right? Bordered labels, and these are tabs. So you have just solid color tabs that if you pick up the little embellishment set, you can sort of decorate your tabs, for anything you need. I stuck to the sort of journal card envelope, little guy, right? Kept it simple. Then you have the 3 large tags, which with just the 2 folds, it makes it a trifold standalone ephemera piece, right? You can fold it, put the right paper on the back of it. Now these I backed with just the crinkled paper. I actually had fun, and this is not a part of your kit. I'm so sorry, but I took the background wording and crackle paper only and backed some of my bigger stuff, so that I didn't have to worry about it when I cut it out, because that's what I do. I go to cut it out and there's nothing on the back of my tags. So always remember, find that. You do have sort of thick washi band or skinny belly band pieces also, always to fill in space. And then we have a sort of a coin envelope, right? Now remember, when you buy this one, you fold this one down and fold this one over it, so that you would glue this end down to this end, so that you don't cover up your, unless you want to, you don't want to cover up your tag, you want to cover up the excess blue, because this one is a little wider on this side than this side, so they overlap. You have your coins, and then I did again, like I did with the Valentines, I did a very simple corner pocket, so that you could either lap them inside each other, you could put them one top of the other, or put them on separate pages. Like they could face each other on the two opposite pages. And of course the coins, because those are just super easy and super fun to make. You've got my 2 decorative pockets that are very simple. I had fun with these. I actually put the stamp, like 5-cent stamp on them with the girls, made more floral coins, a large label tag, bordered label, a little slightly smaller journal card that I normally have, but very eggy, very eggy. Another washi belly band, or skinny for a belly band actually, so it's really more of a wide washi bordery piece, right? Then you do have your standard 3.5 by 2.5-ish journal cards, okay? And then I took the crackled paper and made a belly band for you guys. I think you have 2 of them in here, 2 or 3 of them. But I had fun with this, sort of zooming in on aspects of the pages that you normally, get a tiny corner of, and you could have a full card for them. Again, back to my fun paper, which is an element of these pages, so it was fun for me to use it that way. 2 more belly bands, right? And then I made you guys a decorative file folder, and like vanilla file folder cover type thing, okay? So you can fold it in half and make it on your own little cover to any kind of standalone ephemera pocketed piece. And so I figured once in a while I would throw new elements like this in there. I've done just individual index cards with the tabs on them. I make the little mini file folder booklet kits, but I didn't do one for spring. I did one for Valentine's. So I figured maybe every other kit or so I would make these guys. But I thought I'd just give you the file folder. I had the room for it, and I thought I'll give you the file folder cover for it, and you could decide what you wanted to make with it, right? And then the bigger journal cards are very simple. So you have the background color pages that I use, of course, in the kit, and you can now decorate these to holy heck-a-back, right? Layer them up because you have some simple plain colors for them. And they're all horizontal, but I don't see why you couldn't decorate it, vertically and totally have a blast with that, right? So I also made sure I was a good girl and covered it. So that is the 8 pages of ephemera, 9 pages of decorative, and then there will be the 6 crackled paper color pieces all attached. So 3 PDFs, 23 pages. Lovely spring bunny kit, right? I'm so stoked. I am so happy with these. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. I go add that to my botanical garden, go add that to my rosemary kit, go add that to even a little bit of my what is it? My critter one. Oh my gosh. Oh, my cottontail. I have wallpaper. I have so many things in this color that I could make journals, like 2 or 3 journals for sure, or do an altered book of all like spring, and I would have the greatest assortment of a spring journal, altered book. I totally would. So definitely want to keep going. But these all match the colors of the definition paper pages, the butterflies. You'll have the background bright spring pastel background pages. Like, you have a lot to go with this kit and really go full blown. You can either make a bunch of ephemera, quite a few journals with it. I think there's a lot to play with here. And so those are the first 2, right? So we went from pages to kit, and elements within this kit were individually designed to then make a spring bunny. A lot of spring bunny titles. Sorry, guys. Spring bunny mini embellishment set. We'll call it a kit because it's, it's a set of things. And these are your fussy cuts. These are just the elements that I clustered on all these pages without any backgrounds. They are the cards that I made. You know, when I layered something up or added to it or tweaked it, fussed it, whatever. You've got the little notches in these guys. You've got the rounded corners, or you just have the rough paper. You've got the postcard. You have the book with the, you know, the elements overlaying. Now these I also, there are 2 sheets. You can print them on cardstock, print them on plain paper. I actually print this page on sticky paper. Transparent sticker paper, sticky paper or label paper, and send it to a friend of mine because she likes that vellum clear stickers like I do, and so I sent her a sheet of these on clear sticker paper and cut them out all fussy so she could use them, and they actually turned out really well, and so I'm sort of stoked. I have to do a page for myself, and I think it's gonna decorate probably my Easter week in my happy planner, right? So these are small embellishments. They could be used as happy planner stickers. They could be used a number of ways. I normally do them as sticker happy planners type things. But I didn't do any boxes or labels or anything that would adhere to a happy planner. So these are definitely small ephemera mini embellishment pieces for the kit, for your journals, for your little standalones, or any ephemera you make. So nothing is above a 2x3. And these are only 2x3, nothing bigger. And they get smaller as you go, right? These are little 1x1s, little squares, little tiles. Little definition words are faded in these strips. I have a sepia row here where they are all sort of toned out, so they're not so bright and crazy, which did lead to the creation of a sepia set of journal cards and tags. They're not done yet. So those will probably get released next week. So maybe I'll do something cute with them and show those off to you guys and make something with them too. But there'll be journal cards and tags coming in this sort of sepia look that would go along with this kit also. So this has led to many things. This has been a very multi-layered adventure. So this is, like I said, the Spring Bunny mini embellishments. All these little pieces to layer up on, to tag out, to cut out if you need to, add some color, keep it neutral, whatever you need, right? To add to those pages, to add to that ephemera, to give you some contrast. And sometimes you want these little elements that, you know, we find and you see them all clustered, but maybe, you know, you just want an extra flower, you want an extra tulip, you want something, right? And I thought these guys were so well clustered together that they were really cute, and I had to keep them, you know, keep them that way. So I wanted you guys to have access to them. So this is also a separate entity that'll be released with everything else, but sold separately. So you've got your mini embellishment kit, you have your Spring Bunny journal kit, and you have the bright spring pastel background papers, right? Whew, it's a lot. It's great. It was a lot of work, but as I go along, there's so many layers to it. And if I create it right, there are things that I can just start copying and pasting and clustering and moving around, and all of a sudden I have, you know, papers and sets and kits in a heartbeat for you guys. And I was really glad I started out with the color schemes and the dictionary pages and in the butterflies and went into the papers, and then, you know, it just took off from there. Like I said, I have another set coming. So one more set of ephemera for you guys that is a little different, same feel, but a slightly different color scheme. So I hope you enjoy this video, gets you ready for spring. I know we're all finally freezing and we're cold and we're like, oh great, winter's here, but we're all debating on spring. But you start now, so they're ready for spring, they're ready for Easter, they're ready for whatever event goes on, whether it's, you know, the spring solstice or whether it's Easter or whatever you feel, whether it's a birthday that you need. You have time now to create them because they're sitting here waiting for you to work on them, right? So I appreciate the joining me here at AJeweldDesign today and talking along with me as I showed you what I'm up to and what I've done and what's released now on my Etsy. All of these will be linked. Each listing will be linked in the description below, along with all the places to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, of course, YouTube because you're watching me here, but and back to Etsy where you can find all these listings easily without a problem. And of course, please feel free to browse the rest of my shop as things are categorized the best I can, from fussy cuts to journal pages, and mini embellishments now, mini file folder kits, journal kits, words, numbers. I mean, like, I try to break it apart so that you do not have to scroll through all. I think we're at 48 or 49 listings right now. So I try to make it easy for you. I hope you find it. Any questions or concerns, please reach out to me in any of my social media areas and let me know what's going on. And I hope I can be of help to you. So happy Thursday. Happy end of week. Almost happy February. I hope you enjoy the last few days of January. Stay warm, stay healthy, and keep creating. This is Jolene with AJeweldDesign. Talk to you soon.